Welcome back, everybody. So, The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 3 review. Where do I honestly begin? Again, this is another episode I actually really did enjoy out of this first season for many reasons, which I'm just about to get into. The first reason is the beginning part of this episode where we get to see Merle still stuck on top of the rooftop. He is dehydrated, probably very hungry, and exposure to the sun has basically started to make him daydream or hallucinate, or even slightly insane as well. This whole scene itself, I absolutely loved. It's a nice bit of acting in this. It's not overdone in any way, shape, or form. You can see how much the exposure to the sun with the dehydration is actually affecting his mind, but yet there's still that desire that he wants to get out of this situation, which you get to see or you get to start to see in this. And obviously, in later seasons, you actually understand exactly what happened to him and how it's shown in this one, but where he goes after this. I generally do love this scene a hell of a lot. It's full of emotions, full of that kind of desperation of trying to get out. With the appearance of the walkers at the door is giving him that even bigger sense that he needs to get out of here. And obviously, most of you have probably seen this episode, you get to see him try and get a hacksaw, which I honestly thought, to be fair, he'd use it to cut the chain. Little did I know, towards the end, knowing I have seen the season before this review anyway, it was an interesting choice. I guess it's probably more about time than anything else, but it's just an interesting way of doing it. Let me put it like that. It's a good scene. It's a good opener to this episode. This episode also gets introduced to we get introduced to one of the best characters out of the whole Walking Dead franchise, Daryl. Honest to God, I love him. He is my favorite character with Rick Grimes out of the whole of the seasons ever. If he left The Walking Dead, it would definitely not be the same. He is a very key character in this. You get to that introduction of him. Yes, he is a little bit hot-headed, and that does betray through the rest of the seasons, but he is such a great character in itself anyway, which just makes this season, or The Walking Dead, very enjoyable. You also get to start to see that little bit of a bond between Rick Grimes and Daryl, but that doesn't really come until later on in the season, and possibly even the second season as well. But it's just generally really good. Other parts of this episode I like. We also get to see Rick Grimes finally reunited with his wife and his kid. It's a very touching moment. You can see the emotion there of him knowing that he was going to find it. His wife and kid. It was just a matter of time, and he gets to finally reunite. Yes, there is tension there. There is a bit of a love triangle between him, Laurie, and Shane, which does develop and does obviously create later on in the season. But it's still an added touch. It's a very quite emotional moment. I would probably be the same, to be honest with you, if I was stuck in that situation, knowing that there is a possibility that you'd never see your family again, and then to finally reunite by pure luck as well. A lot of this is just by pure luck, is like a gift. It would be a massive gift as well. And like I said, they displayed this and they portrayed this and they showed this in this episode quite well, I have to admit. This also tackles this episode. Sorry, I am a little bit rusty with the review and I haven't done it for a few weeks, but in this episode, we also get introduced to another subplot line, which is basically abuse in a relationship. So we got Carol and her abusive husband, which I can't remember his name, and you get to see how much control he has over her. It does show, but unfortunately there is a price to pay, as in, if you've seen this episode, the former Shane, and we also get to see Shane probably starting to turn just a little bit on the dark side in this. Again, he is another great element in this season, which you get to see a lot of in this season. Not as much probably like maybe the second season, but you get to see that kind of really darker kind of side to him, which is a nice touch. And basically the season is basically trying to gather momentum, and it just becomes a very enjoyable watch. Yes, I know this is quite a short season, to be fair, but they are putting in quite a fair bit into this as well, and I think they also portray the subjects that they are trying to portray in this episode or in this season quite well as so far. It's just an enjoyable watch. Yes, there is emotion. Yes, there's a bit of tension. There's that scene at the end where we get to see Daryl and all that get to the rooftop and see exactly what happened. Again, you get to see the emotion of Daryl in there, of possibly losing his brother, or even though he has kind of a little cut off his hand, is that you get the sense of the raw emotion in there. And like I said, the introduction of Daryl into this series now and into the program obviously just makes it just a little bit more enjoyable. I do love Daryl throughout the whole of the seasons. I just cannot wait to get into some of the later episodes and later seasons with Daryl, because there is some very, very good ones. There is an episode, I think it must be in season 4, season 5, where not a lot goes on in that episode, but it's all mainly based around Daryl, and you get to really get a sense of what kind of a personality he actually is. And this is the whole thing. It's bringing in those characters that you love, and it's just such a great episode, to be fair. It's a great season. It's a good first season. It's a great episode, and I can't wait to actually watch and then review the next one, because I'm just reminding myself of basically what happens in there, and I just remind myself exactly how much I enjoy The Walking Dead. So, on that note, please tell me what you think. Put it in the comments down below. As normal, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care, and goodbye.